خلاص.
I'm going عربي وانا لما كنت هذا هو يقول في اليوتيوب عيونا started did you
لا
huh
لا.
I have to tell you later. You started it live already? Why?
أنت
Adjust it.
Don't ever start it live until you got it ready, man.
You don't see where his head is? Look
So
at the
fix
camera.
this.
Look at the camera. Look at his head.
You gotta take care of the camera. Save Habib's time. You already hit live. Never do that again.
أنا ما يعجبني هذا الشيء.
خلاص.
الآن هو هكذا.
Let me just put I'm gonna open up the laptop right here so I can see what it looks like.
You need to back the table up a little bit, or you need to adjust the angle of the camera. So your head is out of the video. Top of your head is out of the video.
Gotta lower it down or what?
Yeah.
So then just lower this. You can't lower this thing down right here.
أخوك هذا هو.
Maybe go up to get your head into the camera.
You need to go up and then pull the table up. No. Pull the table up.
كيف؟ أنا ما أعرف كيف أفعل هذا.
Just you grab on these two things and pull the table up. Yeah. Now look at it.
هكذا.
Is it good now or no? Check it. Is it alright?
نعم. أنا ما أفعل مع هذا الشيء. أنا أفعل مع الذي طويل.
Now it's good. I can see it now. Chad, you're fired.
ما يعجبني هذا الشيء.
I said you don't want to. Oh, you can't because your foot is soaking now. All right, so. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. So inshallah we're going to take maybe, I don't know, we'll see. We'll try to keep this kind of, because we're just trying to get these classes going right now, so we're kind of keeping it brief. We're only doing Adab and Mufrad obviously because we're still in the hospital, as you guys can see. So we'll probably be here for like another week or 10 days. Allah knows best. So for now, every class, inshallah, will just be only doing Adab al-Mufrad till we can get back to the books. Alright, so we stopped on hadith number 330. No, we did that, right? So we're on 314. 314. Alright, so قال الإمام البخاري رحمه الله تعالى حدثنا عمرو بن مرزوق قال أخبرنا شعبة عن أبي إسحاق. أبي إسحاق here is السبيعي. السبيعي أبو إسحاق السبيعي عن أبي الأحوص عن عبد الله رضي الله عنه قال الألأم أخلاق المؤمن الفحش. Alright, so here and let me see this I want to assume that this is Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, but I needed to go back and check. So Abdullah radiallahu anhu, he reported that the Prophet he said, قال الألأم الأم الأم, it comes from the word what? I said الألأم, but it's الأم. This is a صيغة اسم تفضيل. Like you have like حسن وأحسن. You know, أحسن from أفعل. So الأم is from the word اللؤم. اللؤم means what? It comes from a lu'um is like something that causes the people to, something that's blameworthy, like a blameworthy characteristic or character or action, something that you do that's deserving of people blaming you or censoring you or criticizing you. La'im is the ism fa'il from this word. So al-amu, you could basically say that the meaning here is aswa, aswa'u. So al-amu akhlaq al-mu'min al-fuhsh. So aswa akhlaq al-mu'min al-fuhsh. Like the worst of all characters of the believers is al-fuhsh. We talked about this yesterday, and what do we say al-fuhsh means? What do you say al-fuhsh? You say al-fahisha, and the plural form of al-fahisha is what? Al-fawahish. What do we say it meant? قبح في إيش؟ في الأفعال والأقوال. So, it's like just very, very despicable type of behavior in statements and in the person's actions. So if the person speaks in a very, very explicit manner, very, that shows that he has no character and he has no control over his tongue, then this would be al-fuhsh. As well as if the person were to act on the things that he's saying by going off and, al-fawahish, messing around with girls and doing all this type of stuff and acting a fool. So all of this type of despicable behavior would fall under the guise of al-fuhsh, which is any type of just real despicable act or statement. Alright, so this is the worst. He said, aswa al-akhlaq, al-mu'min al-fuhsh. Alright, so this is something that we need to avoid. And now, as you can see, this is a statement of Abdullah. It's mawqufun alayh. Alright, and this is sahih. This is authentic. The statement is authentic. Alright, so hadith number 315. حدثنا محمد بن عبد العزيز قال حدثنا مروان ابن معاوية قال حدثني محمد بن عبيد الكندي الكوفي عن أبيه. His father is عبيد الكندي الكوفي. قال سمعت علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله عنه يقول لعن اللعانون. قال مروان الذين يلعنون الناس. Alright, so in this chain of narration you have Muhammad ibn Ubayd Allah. Muhammad ibn Ubayd Allah is majhul. Majhul. And what did we say that meant? I gotta make sure you guys haven't forgotten everything in 45 days. What does majhul mean? ايش هو؟
عمله مجهول يعني لا أحد يعرف يعني عبادته ولا شيء.
No. لا أحد يعرف حاله في العلم الحديث. They know him. But as far as his riwayah, as far as whether or not his hadith is accepted, he's majhul. So you have majhul al-hal and majhul al-ayn. Alright, so majhul al-hal, it means that his hal is what? He's known as a person, but his hal, his state of like narrating hadith is not known. If he's majhul al-ayn, he's not even known at all. Nobody even knows who he is. They know the name, but they don't know who he is, period. But other people, they might be known for ibadah, but they're not known for narrating hadith. So if they're not known, and because as we know, anybody that's gone overseas and to seek knowledge, you will know who's who amongst the students of a sheikh. If you go and you sit with a sheikh for any period of time, you will start to know who the people are that are the top students. So if you go and you say like, okay, well this hadith is narrated from, like, let's say for example az-Zuhri. Az-Zuhri has students that are like mashhurun, that are known, that narrate from az-Zuhri. And then this guy comes along and he narrates from az-Zuhri. Well, nobody knows who he is. They know who he is, but they don't know him as like one of the big students of the Zuhri, somebody that's and then he comes up and maybe his hadith goes against the other students of the Zuhri, or whatever the case may be. But you would say that this person is a majhul al-hal. They know who he is. They know who he is. He has a tarjuma, he has a biography, so they know who he is, but they don't know what his hal is, what his state is. Like, is his hadith accepted or not? But then you have other people, they just like, maybe like I go and I narrate from my father. Everybody's like, who's your dad? No, nobody even knows who my father is. And that would be what? He's majhul al-ayn. Khalas, like nobody even knows who he is. Alright, which is worse. That's worse than the majhul al-hal. Because the majhul al-hal, the people know who he is, but they just don't know his state. So in this case, we have Muhammad ibn Ubaidillah. He's a majhul al-hal. Wa abuhu, and this is actually kind of funny that I gave that example because this is the exact example here. So Muhammad ibn Ubaid is what? Majhul al-hal. Is somebody sleeping in the class? Oh my God. Don't ever put old people in a rocking chair. But he's not even in a rocking chair. We got to get you in the rocking chair, right? Yeah, that's what he was doing in the beginning, man. Every time that he came and visited Esed and sat in that rocking chair in that ICU room, he was out, man. He was out. He was out. And I know Fatima knows who we're talking about. All right. So here, Muhammad ibn Ubaid, majhul al-hal. Abuhu, majhul al-ayn. Majhul al-ayn. So here's the example for you right now. So Muhammad ibn Ubaid, what? Al-Kindi, majhul al-hal. His father Ubaid is majhul al-ayn. Alright, so majhul al-ayn. So he said, يقول لعن اللعانون. The people who constantly curse people, they are what? They are cursed. Lu'ina. Lu'ina is what? It's a sigha mabni lil majhul, right? So it's la'na, lu'ina. Lu'ina al-la'anun. Qala Marwan, alladhina yal'anun an-nas. The people who constantly what? They're cursing the people. That they are themselves cursed. Alright, this hadith is da'if. This hadith is da'if. Alright, so we will read one more hadith inshallah from the next chapter. So chapter 146, Babu al-li'an. Al-li'an here is the masdar. Alright, al-li'an. Alright, la'an is the person who does it. Al-li'an is what is the actual act of cursing. The act of cursing, the masdar. So hadith number 316. حدثنا سعيد بن أبي مريم قال أخبرنا محمد بن جعفر قال أخبرني زيد بن أسلم عن أم درداء عن أبي درداء رضي الله عنه قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن اللعانين لا يكونون يوم القيامة شهداء ولا شفعاء. Alright, so in this hadith, Abu Darda radiallahu anhu, he reported that the Prophet, yes you do, hold on, before I translate this hadith, you do know what old man sits in a rocking chair and falls asleep? She said, I don't know, I do not. Oh, come on, you better get up in that chat group over there, Mr. Hameen. Get up in there and start showing her. She done lost it, man. She doesn't know who I'm talking about. Allahumma musta'an, Allahumma musta'an. Alright. Oh, now she said LOL, so now you've been caught. Alright. So he said, so Abu Darda, he reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, إن اللعانين لا يكونوا. So here, اللعانين is صيغة المبالغة. Alright, this is from the what is it? A fa'al. Fa'al, it means a person who does this action a lot. A lot. Alright. So, and we have different forms to take on this type of صيغة المبالغة. You see like a shakur, you have a rahman. You know, you see this in a lot of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, he gives, Rahman is the one who what? The one who gives mercy a lot. A shakur, full of shukr. You know, he's full of what? Shukr for the people who do what they're supposed to be doing. So here, la'an is a person who's just constantly what? Cursing. You know, this is just a part of his behavior. Cursing here, obviously, we mean what? We don't mean using profane language. Like in America, we generally say cursing. But what are we saying? What does cursing mean? Yeah, to say like, you know, may God curse you, or, you know, like using, like, you know, Allah, like these types of terminologies, and using it a lot. Alright. So he said, Inna la'ani. So these people who curse a lot, La yakununa yawm al-qiyamati shuhada'a wa la shufa'a. So he negated two things on the day of judgment for these people, that this is their behavior and this is their act. And these two things on the day of judgment, that these people will not be, because of them doing this in this dunya, they will not be able to have these qualities in the next life. And the two qualities that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned here, that on the day of judgment, they will not be shuhada. Alright, so what, shuhada here means what? Witnesses against who?
Anybody.
It's witnesses for all of the prophets. That the prophets came and they gave the message that that the believers will be the witnesses. They'll stand up and bear witness, for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all the prophets and the messengers that went before. That they came and they fulfilled their obligation. They gave the message to the people, and it was transmitted. So they will be shuhada. This is one meaning. All right. So one understanding is that they won't be shuhada. Some of the ulama from before, they said they won't be shuhada. It means that they won't be witnesses, like their testimony is not accepted. But this statement is weak because of what? Why is that statement weak? Because he said Yawm al-Qiyamah, on the Day of Judgment. So here on the Day of Judgment, there's not the testimony. Is not gonna. The testimony here that they're talking about is in the dunya. It's not in the akhirah. And the third statement that some of the ulama said is that the shuhada here refers to the people who die in the path of Allah, or killed in the path of Allah. But the strongest opinion is that they're not going to be witnesses. They will not bear witness on the Day of Judgment, and they're going to bear witnesses for the messengers that they did their job. They will not be amongst the witnesses. Their witness, their testimony on the Day of Judgment will not be accepted. They will not be allowed because of their behavior in the dunya. Wala shufa'a. Shufa'a, it means to do what? To intercede. In English, it refers to intercession. All right, because you have different types of intercession, right? So you have the intercession of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which I wrote about. If anybody got the new book about the revitalization of the heart, the 30 lessons for the revitalization of the heart, I wrote about the intercession in the chapter about the Day of Judgment, which might have been the 28th day or the 29th day. I'm not sure. I don't have the book with me, so I can't check it. So I wrote about that as far as the intercession of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But also believers will be allowed intercession on behalf of some of their family members who deserve it, who will be allowed. They will be allowed to intercede on their behalf, because obviously those people they fit the qualifications to have that intercession accepted. So the people who die in the path of Allah, they'll be allowed to intercede on the behalf of family members. So, but the people who have this characteristic their intercession will not be allowed to be shufa'a. As some of the ulama said, because them being la'aneen in the dunya, which is la'an, and the meaning of a la'na is ib'ad and rahmatillah, that you're making dua, that a person becomes what? Far from the mercy of Allah. So the act that you're doing is not merciful in the dunya. But the act of a shafa'ah, which is intercession, is what? It's mercy, it's merciful. So because you did not show mercy in the dunya by cursing the people, then on the Day of Judgment you will not be allowed to show mercy to the people by what? By doing a shafa'ah and interceding on their behalf. And Allah knows best. So these people will not have that ability to do those things. And that should suffice. This is not from the behavior of a believer to go around cursing people. Nor is it permissible, and we spoke about this before, to curse a person who, especially if the person is still alive and there's still a chance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might guide him, and you're actually making dua that Allah push him further away from the mercy, from His mercy. And we shouldn't do that with believers, and we shouldn't even do it with non-believers. And there is ikhtilaf as far as the permissibility of cursing a person while he's alive, and but for me, I just prefer to stay away from it. Stay completely away from it. If you know that the person died on kufr 100%, then you can curse the person. It's permissible to curse the person at that time. Curse Iblis, and you can also curse people and what? And if it's jumla, you can curse, like for example, may Allah curse the liars, may Allah curse the oppressors, may Allah curse, and these people that fall into these types of categories, and you do that in a general manner, but not to specifically curse a person mu'ayyan, like an actual person ba'ayni. Huh? Yeah, Allah yal'ana rafida. Yeah. Allah yal'anahum. Allah yal'anahum la'anan kabira. عظيما. بلا شك. يجوز. Y'all gotta check the questions, man, because I can't see. What question? Is there any questions?
يطلع على
I'm sorry, we're gonna have to cut this. We're not gonna be too long tonight because
يطلع فوق
we're gonna right now. I'm gonna take my son outside and try to get some fresh air. So if y'all got any questions, go ahead and ask them now, inshallah.
يطلع فوق
Huh?
يبعد فوق يسألك
What is it? Which one?
أكبر شيء من عبد الله بن صديق.
I just wanted to thank you for posting about the match. Allah use you as a means to guide me on where to study, inshallah. I'm going to Sheikh Yahya's Marquez to study this year. I'm preparing to go. That's the best
يبعد
thing.
ثاني
That's the best thing. My advice to you is if you go and you sit with Sheikh Yahya, to go and get advice from him. And whatever he tells you to do it. A lot of us, man, you know, the biggest problem with us is that, you know, we don't seek. We were like hard-headed people, man. Us people that grew up in the West, and we think that we can always do things on our own, and we don't listen to advice. But when you go there, when you go to any markaz, and it's not just specific for Yemen, you know, if you go to Hadramaut and you sit with Sheikh Yahya, or you also go to Hadramaut, you sit with Sheikh Habib Bilal, or you go to Mahra, you sit with Sheikh Abdul Hamid, or you go to Sardiya and you sit with the ulama of Sardiya. Wherever you go, you need to recognize, once you get there, you need to find out who the big students are, who they are, and these are the people that you want to benefit from. These are the people that you want to go to for advice. You see the student who's known for teaching, like, for example, Al-Aqidah. You go to him and you tell him, like, look, Akhi, you're a teacher, you teach these books, can you give me, like, you know, give me some advice? Where should I start? What should I do? Write it out and do exactly what he tells you to do. You know, you go to another student, you know, another big student who teaches, like, Usul al-Fiqh or Mustalah Hadith, and you ask him, like, okay, what do you advise me? And you take the advice and you do it. You know, and don't get into, like, you know, what you see. Once you go to a trustworthy student and you ask him for advice, you just do what he tells you to do. Some people, they want to do their own thing. And they'll go to the sheikh, or they'll go to one of the bigger students and ask for advice, but it doesn't agree with what he wants to do in his head. What he wants to hear is he wants to hear the advice of what he's got going on in his head. And it doesn't work like that. These are people that have experience. They've already made all the mistakes. They've done the ups and downs, and they memorized books that they didn't have to memorize and then found that out later. So these are the people that can give you the best advice how not to waste your time and how to utilize your time to the best of your, you know, to your best of your capabilities. Because, you know, if you go, you know, especially as a foreigner, you know, you're going to Yemen, you're going to Sardiya, you're going to any country where, you know, you're seeking knowledge. You don't know how long you're going to be there. You don't know, you know, what Allah has written for you. So you got to utilize every single second and try to just squeeze every second out of every day to get as much benefit as you can. And don't get comfortable with the mindset of thinking like, oh, I'm going to live here. Because you could die at any moment. You know, anything can happen at any time. So for that reason, you know, you gotta just, you know, you gotta squeeze every second out of every day. You know, take the advice and get the advice, and stay away from people who waste your time. You know, those people that suck all the energy out of you. Just, you know, stay around people that are trying to do good, and people that are doing, like, find people that are on the same page as you and make that person your companion. You revise with that person, you study, you take classes with that person, you come back and you revise the classes, you memorize, you read Quran to each other, you read a hadith to each other. You sit down and you learn the Arabic language together, you're memorizing words together, you're doing everything together. You find a companion like that or companions, and you do that to the best of your capability. Don't waste your time with all the, you know, the tea drinkers and the shawarma eaters and all those types of people, especially when you're trying to seek knowledge. You want to, and politicians, you want to stay away from them. All the people that get caught up in current events, people get caught up with their stomachs. You want to stay away from them. You know, you're seeking knowledge, you're doing something, you don't have time to waste, man. None of us have time to waste. But when you're there, man, you're taking on a huge responsibility. Because it becomes now your duty when you get that knowledge, you got to go back and teach the people. You have to, whether you like it or not. None of us like this. Wallahi, there's 1,001 things that I would rather be doing than sitting up here teaching people. And I would rather be, you know, because I don't feel like I'm qualified to do that. You know, and I never will feel like I'm qualified to do that. You know, but it's just something that, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us something, that this blessing of knowledge, and it's our duty to go out and give it to the people. Even if it's very little, which it really is. That's all we have. We can only come back to the people and give a very little, just to give them a taste of what knowledge tastes, you know, just what it tastes like, so they can go You know, we could point them to where the spring is. The spring is with the ulama. It's with the people that you know, Ahl al-Hadith. That's where you need to spend your time. That's where you need to be. You need to sit with that sheikh, you know, and benefit not just from his lessons, not just from his knowledge, but benefit from his character. Benefit from the situations that he's in and how he deals with the people. Benefit from everything, you know. So that's the beauty of being in a place like Yemen, is that you get to watch the sheikh 24 hours a day, akhi. You know, you get to sit there and watch him all day long. You get to see how he deals with all different types of people, all different types of issues. All, you know, as we were in Yemen, all these different types of issues used to come up. And we see how the sheikh responds to them. We see, you know, how certain issues we would think they're very small, but the sheikh will see something in those issues that's much greater than what we saw. And then we saw what the sheikh saw later on. You know, so you know, you have to learn from these things. Don't just limit yourself to just learning from the knowledge. You can read books and get knowledge, right? You know, but you can't get that type of character that you can get from sitting around the ulama and watching how they deal with the certain issues. You know, so Allah musta'an. You see a lot of these jokers. They come back to America after studying very few, you know, maybe like what, 6 months, 8 months, a year. They come back to America and they just want to refute everybody. They have no wisdom. And what do? They end up driving people away from the sunnah. You know, and that's not what you're not going to see that behavior amongst the ulama. You're going to see that the ulama, when you sit with the ulama, you want to learn more about the sunnah. You want to learn more about the deen. You want to sit with them more. But these types of fools, they drive the people away because they didn't learn. They didn't learn from the ulama. They just sat there and they, you know, studied a few books to put on their resume, and then they come back and quoting like, you know, like doing like Jeopardy type knowledge. That's all they got. You know, they can quote a few things, but they, you know, but as far as learning the character and learning the behavior and learning how the ulama deal with these things, they didn't sit with the ulama long enough to do that. So these are the types of things that we need, you know, because you're going to be reading through the books of the Salaf, and then you're going to be watching the man who's, you know, from the inheritors of the Prophet. He's from the inheritors of the Prophets. He's teaching you, and he's making, you know, and you're becoming one of those inheritors while you're sitting with him. So try to benefit to the best of your capabilities and don't waste your time. And Allah knows best. What else? Any other questions? What else? The folk who attacked her. Did you make up your mind? Huh? What's the question? Who is it?
This name.
That's it. Alright, so that's the only. How's your foot feel? I said, you want to give salams to the people? Huh? Say. Come over here. You got to say it. Say it. You don't have to get in the camera. Come on.
Assalamualaikum.
I don't know if they hear him. Well, Asad gives y'all the salams. And he's very happy that everybody's making dua for him. And that's the only reason why he came out. I'm going to try to say this story without crying, man. Because anything with my children is a touchy subject. But I asked him, I said, well, you know, he didn't want to come on camera tonight. But I asked him, I said, so why did you come on the camera yesterday? You know what he said, Abdul Malik? He said, because the people love me, and I know that they love me. So he said, I want to get on the camera. So that's why he got on the camera. That's why he wanted to speak to the people. He's so tired. So and plus his father was jibber jabber and he didn't give him a chance to talk. But I mean, I know he's very.
So your favorite crybaby auntie.
So inshallah khair, man. Alright, so we're gonna stop this so I can get my son outside to get some fresh air, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك. السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته.